Hello, hi everyone. So today we're going to explore logistic regression model using SPSS. And so basically in logistic regression models on the dependent variable, instead of having it as a metric dependent variable, or I should say continuous data, you have categorical data. So that represents some quality on the dependent variable. So that could be either presence of attribute or the absence of that attribute in question. So it has usually the two categories, which is why also we call it a binary regression model. So in our case also for the logistic regression model, the data we have taken is like this. So the dependent variable is admit. That means it takes a value 1 if the student in question is admitted to a graduate college. So there is a college to which the person gets admitted after his undergraduation. Okay. And then 0 means that he could not get the admission there. Okay. So basically, this variable of the person getting admitted or not admitted is affected by three independent variables. Fine. So two independent variables are continuous, that is GRE score of that student, GPA score of that student. Third independent variable is categorical, that means it depicts what is the rank of the college from which that student studied before applying to this college where he is seeking admission now. It's like right now you're pursuing your undergraduate course in your university, and then you wish to apply to seek to a university in Canada. So what is the chance that you will get admitted there? Okay, so something of that sort. And we have, I think, yeah, 400 students data. I have taken this data set from UCLA website, so that's easily retractable. That's about the data. Don't look at the last two columns. Those last two columns are a result of my output, which I will be starting now. Now, see, as much as you would have understood by now that in the logistic regression, you have, yeah, that in the logistic regression, you have on the dependent variable two categories. And on the independent variables, you can choose to have a mix of both continuous and metric data. It's very important that you also understand what actually happens in logistic regression. So there are 2 points of departure from the usual OLS, which you are very familiar with, from the usual regression, I would say. So firstly, logit model is trying to model on the dependent variable the log of odds ratio. So the log of odds ratio mean the natural logarithm of the ratio, that is p upon 1 minus p, where p can be thought of as the probability of the event in the dependent variable happening. So in my case, the event happening could be the person getting admitted to the college he is applying to, and 0 is 1 minus p. So basically the probability of the dependent variable taking a value 0 is 1 minus p, and that means the probability of event not happening. So when I take a ratio of p, that is probability of y equals to 1, to the ratio of probability y equals to 0, that becomes an odds ratio, p upon 1 minus p, such that it indicates odds in favor of event happening, because in the numerator I'm keeping the probability of y equals to 1. When you take a natural log of that particular odds ratio, that becomes a log of odds ratio. That is something we are modeling in logistic regression. That's very important to understand. And this log of odds ratio, in other words known as log of p upon 1 minus p, is modeled as a linear function of your independent variables. So it's like the regression equation can be thought of like this. Log of p upon 1 minus p is equal to intercept beta 1 plus beta 2 x1 plus beta 2 x2 and so forth. Okay, so that was first point of departure. Second point is in logistic regression, the estimation procedure does not involve ordinary least squares. So you are familiar with the fact that usual regression operates by the OLS, that is the ordinary least squares, and you get beta 1 and beta 2 by minimizing the sum of squared residuals. But this logistic regression estimation procedure is known as maximum likelihood estimation. Okay, so we'll be also exploring that. Now, to apply this, we are going to go to analyze, then you go to regression, and then binary logistic, then move your dependent variable, that is admit, in the dependent, the other independents which are GRE, GP and rank in the covariates. So the another way to look at or call your independent variables is covariates, and then go to categorical. And because categorical means which of your independent variables are categorical, we know that rank is the categorical variable, so put rank over here. Okay, then continue. Then save, we want to save probabilities and group membership. Basically, these are the two which are probably showing up here, as I've already executed on my console, or sorry, on my SPSS. And then continue. Then in the options, I want to look at Hosmer Lemeshow goodness of fit test and make sure that the classification cutoff is 0.5, maximum iterations 20, and include constant in the model. Continue. And then this method should be at enter only. Okay, nothing at that. So, and click OK. And you should be getting this output. So starting with the case processing summary, we see that in total, I have 400 cases. So the data is on 400 students. I have no missing values. Perfect. Dependent variable coding means originally and internally, so data is coded as 1 and 0. Fine. Then we'll look at the categorical variables coding. So basically on my independent variables list, I have one of the variables which is categorical, that is rank of the college from which you are right now graduating. Okay, so as I said that your current college or university of study. So that is ranked from rank 1 to 4, where 4 means that it's ranked lowest, 1 means it is ranked the best. So it's like this, the order is in, ascending order. So 1 is the topmost rank college and 4 is the lowest or the bottommost rank college. And in your data, you have 61 colleges students in rank 1, 151 are coming from rank 2 colleges, 121 from rank 3, and 67 from rank 4. Now, this particular table indicates that because your independent variable rank is categorical, that will be treated as a dummy variable, correct? So on the independent variables, when you have categorical variables, you need to make it as a dummy coding. So dummy coding is done in such a fashion that you always introduced one less dummy in the data. So if you have 4 categories, for example, you will introduce 3 dummies to indicate rank. So 1, 1 and 1 here means that for rank 1, 2 and 3, we have introduced the 3 dummies, and rank 4 has become my base category. Okay, the reference category. It's always like that. Then block 0 or the beginning block means that the empty model. So basically empty model as in that, this particular model has no independent variables. And then we'll gradually enter this particular table where we have added all the independent variables. So block 0 is the no independent variable. So basically absent model. You only have the intercept term in this model in a way. Okay. Talking about the classification table. So this is just an overview of right now how your data looks like. So for example, currently in your data, the people who got admitted to the college are 127 and who could not get admitted are 273. So the correct percentage here, 68.3, is nothing but the ratio of number of people in the 0 category, that is 273, divided by the total, that is 400. So that comes up to be 68.3%. So that's just the, the overall glimpse of your data. Fine. So cutoff point as written as 0.5. This means that a a predicted probability. So basically you'll be coming up with probability, no? That probability of lying in either group 0 or in group 1. So if the predicted probability, which your logistic regression model would do, exceeds the threshold value or the cutoff value of 50%, that is 0.5, then the event is bound to happen on the dependent variable. That is, then the person will get admitted to the college. And if it is less than 0.5, then the person will not be admitted to the college. That is, the event will not happen. Okay, so that's about the cutoff value. So classification table in the empty model as block 0 is just giving you how initially that your data looks like. Next, we look at the variables in the equation and variables not in the equation. Now, because this block 0 or the beginning block is about an empty model, a model in which, there is only the intercept term and you have not included any of the independent variables. So this variables in the equation means that right now in your regression equation, what do you have? You just have the intercept as represented by the constant. And what do you not have? All the independent variables. So variables not in the equation are depicting all those independent variables left out from the model currently, and in the equation are depicting all those which are right now in the model. I right now only have the intercept term. So this is an independent variables absent model. Okay, so the question arises, how do we interpret this constant? Now, please recall that, in the logistic regression model, what you're modeling on the dependent variable, you're modeling log of odds ratio, that is log of P upon 1 minus P. So when you're modeling log of odds ratio and when your all independent variables are 0, that means you have an intercept. That means intercept is nothing but the unconditional log odds. I say unconditional because it is not conditioned on any of the independent variables right now. So independent variables are absent right now. So the interpretation is the unconditional log odds in favor of the event happening. Okay, please recall, what are the log odds? Log odds are the odds in favor of the event happening. Okay, so right now minus 0.765 means these are the unconditional log odds in the favor of event happening, that is in the favor of student getting admitted in the college, is minus 0.765. And you would have rightly guessed it that since this is a lower number, we would rather have a lower chance of that student getting admitted. When all the variables are absent from the model, this makes little sense, I would say. Alternatively, if you exponentiate this particular log odds, if you take an exponential of this, then you will get the odds ratio. So this exponentiated beta means the odds ratio. That means this is nothing but the odds in favor of the student getting admitted when all other independent variables are taken to be 0. So how would you calculate this when all other independent variables are taken to be 0? This is just from the data. Come over here. So 127 people are right now admitted and 273 are not admitted. If I were to ask you, find out the probability of getting admitted by looking at the data in absence of any independent variables influence, that would be 127 upon 400. So that's the probability of student getting admitted right now. And then 273 upon 400 would depict the probability of student not getting admitted. So if you take a ratio of this 127 upon 400 to 273 upon 400, what will you get? You will get the odds ratio. And that is the odds ratio which is reflected over here. That is 0.465. So if you do the simple exercise by dividing 127 upon 400 divided by 273 upon 400, that would give you 0.465. That is the unconditional odds ratio in favor of student getting admitted in the college. That is 0.465. As you would see that this odds ratio is not so impressive. It's too low, barely touching 1. Okay. So there is very less chance on the basis of, you know, on the, you know, in the absence of independent variables, this is less informative. I just told you this for extra knowledge. This is not that informative as of now. Now, looking at the variables not in the equation, that means all the variables which are right now absent from the model. Now, currently, because this is an empty model, all the independent variables are absent. So, what is this score actually? So, score refers to results from a score test. So, there is a test called the Lagrange multiplier test, also called the LM test, which actually gives you some sort of scores. So, scores are nothing but the estimated change in the model fit if the variable is added to the model. So basically the score is a test statistic for that test which I just told you, the Lagrange multiplier test, and the null hypothesis of that test is as follows. So the null hypothesis is the variable does not contribute significantly in improving the fit of your model. Okay. So because the null hypothesis is so, and it would, so we'll just check the p-values and see what happens. So since p-value for the variable GRE is less than alpha, that means, you know, we are able to reject the null hypothesis. So we say that this particular variable GRE does contribute significantly in improving the fit of the model. Likewise, you can see GPA and rank, all three as depicted through these p-values are rather, you know, they're good variables. So these variables significantly contribute in improving the fit of the model. So that's all from this table, nothing beyond. Now, that was the empty model and less informative. Now we come to the final model, that is block 1. Okay. So that means now we'll be introducing all the independent variables in the model. So in the block 1, what is this omnibus test of model coefficients? So the null hypothesis of this particular test is the added variables have not significantly increased our ability to predict the dependent variable. Okay. So basically, this is not desirable for us. We would rather want that the added variables do add significantly to the ability to predict the dependent variable. Okay, so this particular omnibus test of model coefficients is sort of an overall test for the model that includes the predictors. Mind it, we have included predictors now. So we see that because the p-value, so look at the p-value against the model, since this is less than alpha, so we easily reject the null hypothesis and say that indeed our model as a whole fits significantly better than the case of an empty model. Okay, so this omnibus test is rather giving us an idea whether we should be adding independent variables or not. Fine. Now that is where I would like to stop this particular lecture, and in the next lecture series, in the part of logistic regression only, we'll interpret the latter half of the output. Thank you for watching the video.